President Trump issued a stark warning to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Wednesday, saying Kyiv's leader was in a dire situation and can have peace, or he can fight for another 3 years before losing the whole country. Trump, 78, was responding to Zelensky telling reporters Tuesday that Ukraine will not legally recognize the Russian occupation of Crimea, a key part of a U.S. proposed peace plan under discussion in London Wednesday, and a condition that has long been a red line for Kyiv. This statement is very harmful to the peace negotiations with Russia, in that Crimea was lost years ago under the auspices of President Barack Hussein Obama and is not even a point of discussion, the president seethed on Truth Social. Nobody is asking Zelensky to recognize Crimea as Russian territory, but if he wants Crimea, why didn't they fight for it 11 years ago when it was handed over to Russia without a shot being fired? Trump a decade ago criticized Obama for not intervening when Russia annexed Crimea. Kyiv has been working since 2014 to get its territory back and expel Russians from eastern Ukraine. Now the U.S. is proposing formally recognizing the Black Sea Peninsula as Russian territory, which would represent a major change to American foreign policy, a senior administration official told the Post. There's a doctrine out there called the Wells Declaration that goes back to 1940 that says that the United States will not acknowledge the occupation of a foreign land by another nation, the official said. We don't say that this is your result, but we acknowledge the fact that it's annexed physically, but you don't own the land you're on. That doctrine, declared 85 years ago, was created to push back against the Soviet Union's annexation of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The U.S. was the leader in influencing other nations to do the same, and more than 50 nations followed suit. A U.S. official insisted to the Post Friday that the U.S. has not dropped its commitment to the doctrine at all, though that would change if Trump's peace plan was adopted. Throughout the attempted peace process, the president has not issued any coercive punishments to Moscow to bring them to the table, but briefly cut intelligence sharing and military aid to Ukraine in an attempt to force them into compliance. Instead, Trump blamed Zelensky for speaking out against the acknowledgement of Crimea by the U.S. It's inflammatory statements like Zelensky's that makes it so difficult to settle this war, Trump went on. He has nothing to boast about. The president also referenced in his post a notorious February 28 shouting match in the Oval Office between himself, Zelensky, and Vice President J.D. Vance.